it's Paige, and today's video is going to be a review of not one, but two face palettes. I am so excited. Today I will be reviewing the Lauralee Los Angeles Blush Aesthetic palette. This is a brand new palette that just came out for the holidays. And then I will also be reviewing the Lunar Beauty Outer Dimension palette, which I am so excited about as well. I did purchase these both with my own money. I will have them linked down below. I cannot wait to open these. I haven't looked at them like in person yet, but online they look stunning. So if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. I'm like waving these around like a crazy person. But I guess we'll start out with the Outer Dimension palette. I have all of my makeup done except for bronzer, blush, highlights. On my eyes today, I actually am wearing the Lauralee Los Angeles Nudie No. 2 palette. This is like one of my all-time favorite palettes. I love it so much. It's fantastic. If this is in stock, I highly recommend you pick this up. It is freaking incredible. This was my palette of the year for 2020, and it came out like right at the end of 2020, but it's so freaking good. Every time I wear it, I get compliments. So definitely check out Lauralee's Nudie No. 2 palette. But anyway, Outer Dimension, Lunar Beauty. The packaging is super cute. This is a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be based on seeing like pictures of it online. But let's go ahead and take a peek at the actual palette. If I can get it out. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Look at this packaging. I am shook. That is stunning. The Outer Dimension palette. Okay, totally is on, on brand for Lunar Beauty. Let's take a peek at the inside. There is a huge mirror up here. And then it looks like we have 10 shades. So we have lots and lots to pick from here. I'm gonna do swatches of everything, and then I'll also apply a few of the shades as well. So it looks like everything is matte. We have 5 like highlighting shades over here with different undertones. There's like some more yellowy ones, and then some that have more of like a pink undertone. And then we have this really bright white shade. And then over here we have the like contour slash bronzing shades. And again, we have these 4 here with a much deeper shade here. I don't think that I can use this for anything except maybe eyeshadow. I do have a pretty fair skin tone, so we'll see how these look on my skin tone. But yeah, it looks really nice. Feels like great quality. First impression is fantastic. That noise was horrible. Did you guys hear that? I don't know what that was. I think it was my fan, like the plastic like scraped on my desk. Okay, anyway, let's dive in. So the way he has the palette divided out is the sun side and the moon side. So here are the swatches of the sun side. So we have 5 different shades. I will say this formula is very creamy. Like you can tell that there is some good pigment here. They're not super chalky. Like I said, they have a nice creamy texture to them. So I guess I'll go from top to bottom. We have bright sky, pink sky, yellow sky, peach sky, and white sky. So the names are pretty self-explanatory. This one I would say is the most neutral brightening shade. Then we have a pink, a yellow, a peach, and then like a very white shade. So super pretty. I'm very impressed with the formula so far. The description says, creamy, highly blendable, brightening powders that deliver radiance, blurring, and a long wear, skin-like finish. Formulated for a luminous matte look, vitamins C and E help improve skin's brightness and hydration. Apply the sun side to any area you wish to brighten, under the eyes, the center of the forehead, the front of the chin, or down the bridge of the nose. So very nice. There's like a little card in here that tells you like what cancels out what. So if you have like purple undertones, you can use yellow sky to help like cancel that out. So it has a nice little guide for you, which is really great for people that like don't know like, you know, everything there is to know about makeup, which would be me. So I find this very helpful. There's also a little brush tip, which he did come out with some brushes with this launch. I didn't pick them up. I do have some other Lunar Beauty brushes. I think I have the eye brushes. But I'm just gonna actually be using some Lauralee Los Angeles brushes today, I think, since I purchased these when they released a couple months ago. These are her birthday brushes. I think they're restocking in January. So anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and start with a little bit of brightening. I'm already very pale. right now. My face is very flat. So I think I'm just gonna go in with the L24. This is a uniquely shaped brush. I don't know that I've ever used something like this, but I think I'm gonna use it to touch up under the eye. So I am gonna go in with Bright Sky, which is this shade right here. This is the most like neutral color, and I'm just gonna lightly tap. I already have my face set with powder, so we'll see how much of a difference this makes. I don't think these are necessarily setting powders. I think they're more like color correcting slash brightening shades, which you can definitely see that is giving me some nice like brightening here compared to this side. This is probably the shade I will use the most. So I'm just gonna kind of tap that under the eye. I will go along my forehead and my nose. So once again, you can see this side compared to this side. So now I'm gonna go ahead and brighten. I'm barely tapping in because these, I was about to call them shadows. These powders are pretty pigmented, so I'm very lightly tapping in and I'm still getting really good payoff. I do see a little bit, it's not shimmery, not sparkly in any way, but it almost has like a hydration to it, like a glow while still being matte, if that makes sense. It looks very like soft and hydrated. So I really like the finish of this as well. I will say that I don't know that I will ever really be using these three shades. Maybe like in the summer months when I have a little bit more pigment to my skin. But as of right now, this shade works perfectly for me. I could also see using this white one just to get like extra brightening. But I don't know that I'll use these three as much. That's like the downside to having a bunch of shades in a contour palette. But the plus side is that a wider range of skin tones can use the palette, so I can see both, and I'd rather like more people be able to use the palette than me be able to use every shade every single day, if that makes sense. So yeah, so far so good. I don't really like do this step every day, but I could see myself like adding it to my routine if like it changes the end result enough. So once again, there are the swatches. Now I will swatch the like moon side of the palette and go through the shades, and we will start applying some of those to our face so that we don't look so ghostly. So here are the 5 shades from the moon side of the palette swatched. I will go ahead and read the description for you now. It says, creamy neutral toned bronzing powders, highly blendable with a long wear, soft focused skin-like finish, add warmth and dimension to flatter your face. Vitamin C and E help promote an even skin tone and hydration. Apply the moon side to any area you wish to add some depth and color, along the hairline, hollows of the cheeks, or along the jawline, and it has a dreamy coconut scent. So once again, there are color descriptions for like, you know, light to medium complexions, etc. So there are all of those descriptions there. So once again, here are the shades. This first one here is almost exactly the color of my skin, so if you are even fairer than I am, this would be a really pretty, very like natural light bronzing powder. I feel like sometimes it's hard to find a bronzer that's light enough, so this is definitely a very fair bronzer, and that one is called Nude Sky. This next one here is called Bronze Sky. This is definitely the one that I will be using. This is the one that's gonna flatter my skin tone the best from what I can tell. This third one here is called Tan Sky. Then we have Deep Sky, and then Dark Sky. And you can tell like this deepest one here has more of a cool undertone. This one has a little bit more of a red undertone. This one has a little bit more of like not an orange, but like a warmer undertone. And then the 2 lighter ones I would say are pretty neutral. So I feel like this is a really nice variety of shades. I will say these last 3 are definitely too deep for me. So this one, these 2 actually look more like medium skin tones, and then this last one here is pretty deep. Definitely deeper than any bronzer I have in any of my other face palettes. So I feel like there's a nice variety here. So I'm gonna go in with Bronze Sky, which is the first one that you can see. This one here. And I think I'll try this brush. This is the L22. Normally I don't go in with a brush like this, but we'll give it a go. So I'm going to take this, and I'm starting off light because I don't know like how intense this is gonna be, but look at that. That looks really pretty. I'm just gonna kind of like build that up as I go, but That's looking beautiful. It's definitely more on the natural side of, you know, bronzers that I've tried, which I prefer. I like a nice natural bronzer, and I actually really like it with this brush. It's easy to go like along the perimeter of your face, you know. It's definitely very buildable as well, so you can start off with a little bit of product and then just kind of slowly add more and more until you get the desired look. But here you can see I have it on this side and then nothing on this side, so I'm gonna finish bronzing my face and then I will be right back. So here is what my face looks like with the bronzing powder on. It's definitely more on the subtle side. I did swatch another bronzer. This one here is from Fenty. This is her Sunstalker bronzer, and it's in the shade Shady Biz. So this is one that I use quite frequently, and you can see that it's definitely deeper than the shade that I used today from the MANNY MUA palette. It's somewhere between this shade and this one, which there's a really big jump here. It's kind of unfortunate that I can't use like over 50% of this palette for its intended purpose. Actually, I can really only use one shade as bronzer. The other four I can't use as bronzer. It's either too light or too dark. But I do appreciate there being a larger shade range because it's definitely more inclusive than most. But yeah, I think it's a really nice formula. I wish that I could use more than one shade, but I understand that, you know, you can only pick so many shades. I really like the formula of it. I think it looks really natural, and I really built up this product. I would say it's very user-friendly, very buildable, very blendable, super creamy, not powdery, and I really like the way that it looks. I think it looks very smooth on my skin. I was just reading the description card for the palette, and I noticed that it says that this shade here can actually be used to deepen up some of these other shades, which I could see it kind of fitting in on like the sun side of the palette. So if you have a deeper skin tone, you could totally use this as a brightening shade. You could actually use like either of these, I feel like, as brightening shades depending on how deep your skin tone is. And then obviously you can use the darker ones to deepen up other ones. So I could have like mixed these two, which I need to try that because I feel like, or even like these two, the super light one and this one, if I mix those, maybe I could get it to work for my skin in that way. So I'm excited, oh my gosh, to continue to kind of like mix and match the shades. But for at least having one like shade without having to go through the process of mixing that works for me, I'm happy with. So I think this is a really nice palette. I definitely would recommend it. I think it's so cute. Like, I want to like display this somewhere. It's so freaking adorable. So yeah, I'm impressed. I really like the Outer Dimension palette from Lunar Beauty. Now we will move on to the Blush Aesthetic palette, which like, just take a moment and look at this palette. The packaging is so beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and take it out of the packaging. Here is the palette, the Blush Aesthetic palette. I love the name. It's so cute. It kind of looks like a neon sign. That's adorable. Ugh, I love her packaging. I wonder, okay, I was gonna say, I wonder if this is the same size, but it's not the same size. It's the same like width as the Nudie number 2, but it is a bit taller. So in here, we have 8 different shades. We have, I believe it's 7 blushes and 1 highlighter. I think that's what she said in her video. Look at this palette. It's so beautiful. So here are the shades in the Blush Aesthetic palette swatched. This first one is the only like shimmery shade in the palette. This is like the highlighter type shade, but it's definitely too deep for me to be a highlighter, but I think its intended use is kind of to make the other shades more of a shimmery blush, or to give them a bit of a glow. I know she mentioned that she'll like dip into one of these shades and then dip into this one as well, just to give the blush a nice glowy effect. Or you can go with just like a plain matte blush, which this would definitely be a nice like mixing shade slash blush topper type shade, but it would be too deep for me just as like a regular highlighter. You can see it has a bit of a shadow on my skin tone in like when it's not hitting the light. But here are the shades, all very pigmented. We have a nice variety of colors, some really cool toned pinks, some peachier shades, this really pretty like orangey coral blush, and then this is a gorgeous berry shade, very intense and deep compared to some of these other ones. I think the packaging gets a 10 out of 10. This is totally my type of palette. Like, just I get it. Like, I get the brand now. I feel like Laura Lee did a little bit of searching when it came to her brand with like the Cat's Pajamas palette, which I am personally a fan of and always have been, but I feel like she really found like her aesthetic, her vibe, her brand, and I love it. This is like made for me. So I think the packaging is phenomenal. I'm so excited to play with some of these shades. So from top to bottom, we have Golden Haze, which is the shimmery shade. Then we have a really nice, like very basic pink, like almost like ballet slipper pink. This one is called Bridal Pink, very fitting name. Then we have this really pretty corally shade called Strawberry Ice Cream. Then we have Chateau Rose, which is a super cool toned, kind of like Barbie pink color. Then we have this other like peachy, like lighter coral shade. This one is called Peach Fuzz. This is like my type of blush. I love this color. Then we have a cooler toned, kind of like mauve-y shade, which is called Caramel Cream or Caramel Cream, however you say it. Then we have Tiger Lily, which is another really pretty pink color. This is like one of my favorite shades in the palette. And then this last shade here is called Sangria, which is a really pretty kind of like wine berry sangria type shade. So super gorgeous array of colors. I have kind of like a mauve pink look on my eyes today, so I'm kind of thinking Tiger Lily. Let's try Tiger Lily out, but I think first we'll go in with Bridal Pink. Since this is lighter, we'll just see how this shows up on my skin. I have to find a clean blush brush, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna tap into Bridal Pink, and we're just gonna see how this shows up. This is an F4 from the Rose Gold collection from Blinged Brushes. Look at how beautiful. I am so obsessed. So we're just gonna tap into Bridal Pink and pop this on the cheeks to see how this shows up. Oh, it is so pretty. This is super natural, definitely one of the lighter shades in the palette. If you have like a deeper skin tone than me, it's probably not gonna show up as well, but I would say my skin tone and lighter, this looks absolutely beautiful. You can see the difference, at least in person you can, hopefully on camera, but that is so pretty. Super subtle, very like bridal makeup type vibes. That is stunning. So there we have Bridal Pink. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go into Tiger Lily. And this one is definitely more pigmented, so I'm just going to tap some of that off. And then I'm gonna tap Tiger Lily on this side. I'm gonna end up mixing the two shades just to kind of even it out, but I figured I could try a few different shades. That is so pretty. Definitely deeper, definitely more intense, but absolutely beautiful. I love that. I love blush so much. And that is freaking stunning. I'm gonna go into Bridal Pink and kind of mix that with Tiger Lily on this side, and then we'll go into Tiger Lily and mix that in with Bridal Pink over here just to kind of even out my face. But these blushes are stunning. We'll go in with the shimmery shade too, just to kind of try it out. I'm gonna take a Laura Lee L25 and we're gonna go into Golden Haze, and I'm just gonna kind of apply that on top of the blush area. I don't want to go in with too much, but this is definitely giving a glow to the cheeks. I would say this is a firmer, like it's pressed pretty firmly, so it's not like super powdery, it's not caking up on the brush, so you definitely can like build this up and go in with a little bit at a time. But that is really, really pretty. I hope you guys can see that glow on my cheek compared to this side where we just have matte blush. This side we definitely have a really nice subtle glow. It's not too much. I actually really like that. I was a little bit worried. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to use that shade, but that is beautiful. So there we have the blush. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of highlighter. I'm gonna go in with the Lunar Beauty highlighter. This is the shade Miss Mercury. I tried this out in a video recently. It was sent to me in PR. They sent me a few different products from the line, so if you guys haven't seen that video yet, I will link it down below. But like, look at that highlighter. It's so phenomenal. This is what I have on my brow bone and inner corner. It's so pretty. It's like the perfect champagne shade, and it's priced pretty fairly. I definitely, oh my god, it's so pretty. It's so intense, but this is definitely worth it. The more I use it, the more I love it. And this was something like, this was insta love. I loved it right away, but it's just, it's so nice. I'm also wearing the REM mascara. This is the volumizing mascara, and again, I freaking love this product. It's so nice. Makes my lashes look so good. And I have a little bit of the plumping gloss on top of a MAC lipstick. So yeah, this is the finished look. I'm gonna zoom you guys out. We'll go over final thoughts, and that will be today's video. All right, you guys, so here is the finished look. I think my makeup turned out super cute today. I really enjoyed both palettes that I used. I think they're both phenomenal. I would say I am partial to the Laura Lee palette because the packaging and the aesthetic is just phenomenal. Also, I can literally use every single shade in this palette, and I love blush so much. Definitely more than I like bronzer. I just personally like to use blush a lot more. I'm not super like careful with my bronzer, definitely not my strong suit, but blush, I can really appreciate blush. So it's really just down to personal preference, and I prefer blush, but I do think that this is a very nice contour slash bronzing brightening palette. I think the packaging is so unique and just so beautiful, and the actual formula is fantastic, and I definitely think that my mind is open to trying out more shades than I initially thought. Like for example, if I wanted to use the banana shade, if this is too dark for me like on its own, I can mix it in with the white shade and make it a lighter banana shade. So I think this is actually a lot more versatile than I thought it was to begin with. So I'm excited to keep using this palette, and maybe I will grow a stronger appreciation for these types of products, like bronzing powders and highlighting powders and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. I will have these products linked down below. I will also have the rest of my makeup linked down below in case you're interested in anything else that I'm wearing. And that's gonna be about it. I love you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.